Crown Jewel.
Bobby Lashley replacing John Cena was a great decision because honestly I agree with Baron Corbin. John didn't do shit to earn a spot at the tournament and needed to be replaced. If I'm being honest, I would have chosen somebody else to qualify, but oh well. I'm excited about the fact that Survivor Series will be another battle for brand supremacy, but the problem with this is the fact that every pay-per-view has been co-branded.
A former World Heavyweight Champion.
Seth Rollins has never been the World Heavyweight Champion, he has only been the WWE Champion. By the time he won it, the big gold belt was retired and its lineage stopped. Not gonna lie, that pyro for Seth Rollins was awesome right after the shouting of burn it down. That's another sin off.
The King Slayer!
How much longer are we gonna refer to Seth as the King Slayer? Especially since the King he's supposedly slain is literally in tonight's main event. Also, despite the fact that Seth has his issues with Dean Ambrose, he is still one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, and yet he completely leaves the title behind but brings out the title that he basically has been ignoring the last few weeks.
The Shield was on top of the world.
No, they weren't. To be on top of the world, the Shield would have had to annihilate the entire Raw roster. Their presence throughout 2017 and 2018 was some of the most awkward we've ever seen, and that was before Roman Reigns was diagnosed with cancer.
Everything's different.
Actually, everything seems to be the same as it were back when you first betrayed the Shield 4.5 years ago.
That I've got to go back to being me.
Which is something I should have never left in the first place, all just for nostalgia acts.
I wish I could agree with you, Renee, but this isn't just a friend.
Corey Graves is desperate to talk about the breakup of Seth and Dean rather than focus on the task at hand, which is to call the action of tonight's show.
ECW Champion.
That one moment when Bobby Lashley's championship accomplishment list seems very small compared to the others, especially since all he has on his list is being the ECW Champion and the United States Champion. Also, this is something else I wanted to bring up. To be the best in the world does not determine the number of championships you've won, because there have been some of the greatest wrestlers in the world who have either hardly held any title or never won a title. Being the best in the world should also be credited to the qualities of your wrestling matches, but yet WWE's logic is title reigns or you suck.
By his hype man, Lio Rush.
Fuck.
Look at the physique of Bobby Lashley.
Well, I would look at the physique of Bobby Lashley, but unfortunately I cannot see him due to watching the fireworks go off at the top of the stadium.
Take a good...
Go away!
Nobody can match this man's strength.
John Cena, The Big Show, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, potentially Cesaro, as we've seen from his usage of strength in the past. Need I continue on with the list? Lio Rush really needs to do his research before he starts posting. He's a great talker, but he really needs to shut up at times.
Because by the end of this night...
By the end of this night, Bobby Lashley won't even be a thought in our head due to all the bullshit that unfolds.
Lashley.
Just as long as Lio doesn't start shouting Lashley so many times, I'll be fine. I would have been fine with his presence if he actually stopped talking during Bobby's matches. Also, ever since Lio Rush joined Bobby Lashley as his manager, when was the last time Bobby even spoke a word at all?
John Cena was supposed to be in this spot.
And he didn't qualify either. Two wrongs don't normally make a right, but with how little time was left before this event, what other choice did they have?
I have no reason to doubt Baron Corbin and his decision-making.
Oh, you will. You will. Trust me. You will. Too much fucking posing! You might as well rename this event Crown Posing. I've lost count on how many times I've seen posing and lack of wrestling. That's weird. Doesn't Lio Rush normally have a microphone in his hand just so he can annoy the living fuck out of whoever's in the arena or watching at home? I'm glad he doesn't have one right now, but the problem is that's his shtick. So what's stopping him from being annoying? Did he finally realize that he was irritating after all this time?
Watch this impact by...
If you were looking at the live screen instead of the replay, you would notice that Bobby is punching the air above Seth's head. Probably has beef with the air. Air seems to be an enemy of every wrestler nowadays.
Will defend that title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, bullshit. Seth is not defending his Intercontinental Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura at Survivor Series. They're facing off as the mid-card champion of their respective brands without either title on the line. Do you not remember last year's event? I do. Brian Zane and I tore the house down over there. Oh my god, I am looking at a hall of mirrors with the screens. I am tripping so many balls here. Did anybody else get that weird feeling as well?
Break you. Bang again.
Seth hit his face off the turnbuckle, and yet it's the back of his head that's in the most pain. Now the wrestlers are defying logic tonight. Oh boy, something tells me this is not going to end well. Seth, could you please pull your pants up? We don't want to be looking at your butt in this match.
I don't think he's looked better than he does right now.
This is part 2 of the Crown Jewel Sins, so I can say the sin again. This wrestler looks better now than he ever did in his career cliche. If there's more than 2 parts to this event, what do you bet I'll be saying that again in each one? Good lord, I hope not.
Lashley's completely changed his demeanor.
I'll give you that one, Corey, but let's not forget to mention that ever since Lio Rush joined Bobby Lashley, he has been in the spotlight more than Bobby. In other words, he's using him. Also, we're randomly showing what the ring looks like from this view on the stage.
Oh, and face first, the inverted DDT.
If that was an inverted DDT, wouldn't Seth be upside down falling back? You know, how Sting executes the Scorpion Death Drop? Man, I miss Sting.
Nobody can be more dangerous than Bobby Lashley.
Rollins will make you pay.
Does Seth realize he's shaking his ass while preparing to run for the suicide dive? I'm getting a little creeped out here.
Suicide dive.
Where the hell did Bobby's headband go? I don't seem to recall it getting knocked off at all.
A second time and still feeling the impact from the assault.
Actually, the reason Seth is grabbing onto his neck is because he literally went sailing headfirst into the barricade during that second suicide dive.
Easily the best we've seen Bobby Lashley.
Recently? Maybe. But of all time? Hell no.
It's nighttime here in Crown Jewel. Lio Rush has sunglasses on.
In some ways, I can't blame Lio for that. He's probably still jet lagged considering it's nighttime in Saudi Arabia, but also the afternoon in North America. Is any of these matches going to be at least 10 minutes long? We're not even an hour into this show, and so far all the matches have felt rushed. Lio rushed. Okay, I'm sorry.
We can worry about that tomorrow night on Monday night.
Corey, today is Friday. Raw is not on a Saturday.
You have a chance to prove it.
This tournament doesn't prove shit, Byron. Ah, screw it. It's not going to matter how many times I say that tonight.
I'm not here to add an exclamation point.
The fuck? What in the hell is an exclamation point? Let me know in the comments what you think an exclamation point is supposed to be.
Introducing first.
These two kids in the front row arguing about whether or not they should vlog the experience. We got the kid with the camera who wants to vlog, and what seems to be his brother or friend telling him to knock it out by putting his hand down. And they're not even paying the slightest bit of attention to the show despite getting a freaking ringside seat. And I've seen the prices to this show. They're not cheap.
In any language.
Corey, the fans in attendance are clearly yelling "You suck" in English. I can easily hear that. Although, how cool would it be if they were chanting "You suck" in Arabic?
Talked about the Met. Him at this point.
The fireworks went off a little too late from Kurt Angle's pose. Oh well, maybe next time if he's wrestling at a massive event like this one.
Intercontinental Champion.
Embrace my shaking ass, fans! Is the record scratching sound effect even necessary anymore? That only worked when he came out to no music and no lights. Nowadays, it's stupid to play that sound effect all just to play his entrance theme. Just play the music and stop scratching the records.
No one knows what it feels like to be so underappreciated.
That's bullshit. The list of wrestlers who know what it's like to be taken advantage of is almost never ending, Dolph. Drew McIntyre's "What am I even doing with this loser and why am I not kicking his ass and making my own way to the top of the company like I always should have in the first place" face. Wow, that was a very long one. I'm really good at reading facial expressions.
Best in the world.
I would have easily taken Dolph Ziggler over who really wins the fucking World Cup in the end.
Competitor, he would love to come out
Hand clap fighting.
and defeat his hero, Kurt Angle.
When the hell did Dolph ever say that Kurt Angle was his hero? Because I don't recall him ever bringing that up. Or are we just going to go for a wrestler pretends that his opponent was his hero just to add dramatic tension to the match situation? Because if so, I'm not that interested.
Ziggler at one point in his...
Fans are chanting "You still got it" to Kurt, despite the fact that he has proven for nearly a year that he still got it in the ring. Well, I would say he doesn't have it as much as he used to, but he has enough to keep going for a little while.
121 victories.
As expected, every match in this tournament contains the commentators reciting the accomplishments list of each wrestler throughout the match instead of calling the action. I'm only getting a small migraine from this, but I fear my head will explode by night's end. That's not how you lock in a sleeper hold, Dolph. You should know, considering you're the one who's been using the sleeper hold for the better part of 9 years.
Can shut down all of his haters.
It doesn't matter how many accomplishments you achieve in the WWE, your haters will never shut up. Just like me when it comes to reaching 100,000 members of my optimistic empire. My haters will still never shut up. And I'm glad they won't, because their motivation helps me just as much as my loving fans' motivation does. Dolph Ziggler is like every other wrestler who wasted time posing for the crowd. A moron. I'm amazed these matches are still underneath 10 minutes with all the posing that takes place.
There is classic Kurt Angle.
I thought Michael's catchphrase was vintage insert name of wrestler, not classic. Did he drop the phrase or something? I'm thinking he did.
And a second German suplex.
Suplex City is in dire need of a new ruler, considering their current ruler makes the German suplex look boring as hell.
Ready. It's not something he has to get in shape for.
Actually, yes it is. If Kurt has rarely been in the ring, then he does need to get in shape for it. It's one thing to stay in shape, it's another to prepare for wrestling matches, especially at his current age.
German off the apron.
Just once, I would like to see Kurt successfully German suplex a wrestler from the apron to the floor. It's intense to see his opponents hanging on, but at the same time, you just know he won't succeed in connecting the move anyway.
Dolph.
Zolf? Really? Once again, we have Dolph's name mixed up to Zolf Diggler or something? I remember that botch because I sinned it before. But which Sins video was it? There are nearly 400 Sins videos on my channel.
This is impressive.
Really? Only now does the referee realize that he was supposed to be counting Kurt for hanging on to Dolph while Dolph was holding on to the ropes? Did you forget they had a job to do as usual? I'm just saying that if I were a referee in professional wrestling, I'd actually do my job correctly.
From Dolph. Oh, and
Michael Cole's delayed reaction to Kurt falling onto the floor.
the apron, and he hit hard.
Also, Kurt didn't hit the ground that hard at all. If he did, there would have been a loud thud, so Michael's reaction was delayed and overselling at the same time. Pieces of Hulk Hogan's feather scarf are still lying on the ground outside the ring. Doesn't WWE have a cleanup crew or something?
I'm getting angle back into the...
Angle? Oh my god, let's get that trending. That is one of the most hilarious names I have ever heard from the commentators. Hashtag Angle.
I believe WrestleMania was the last time.
Wrong, Michael. Ever since WrestleMania 34, Kurt Angle competed in the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble match and then competed in a Battle Royal to qualify for the spot in the tournament. And you were there for both occasions, so don't act like you don't know.
We've already listed out all of his accolades.
And we're likely going to list off his accolades again and again as time goes on because we don't know what to say about this match itself.
And
Michael Cole's stuttering. Also, Drew McIntyre's likely using the bottom rope and his arm as a pillow because he, like me, is getting a little bored from this match. And bored because he's not doing anything.
Dolph Ziggler will not let Angle up to breathe.
You actually thought he would?
Yeah, Kurt's in big trouble.
A majority of the damn sense of this match alone is on the commentators. If only they weren't stating the obvious, messing up facts and delaying reactions, this match may have less sins than what we're getting.
DDT! Ziggler!
First he said Dolph, now he said Diggler, completing the full name botch. If Drew was going to try and save Dolph, which would have included getting him disqualified in the process, he's taken all the time in the world to do so. I guess he wanted to save Dolph, but also debated on whether or not it's a good idea. Watch your language, Kurt. This is a PG show. Trust me, I don't like the PG rating, but I sadly have to do my job.
You still got it.
Anybody can easily pull the straps down, Renee. Doesn't say anything about whether or not Kurt Angle still has it. Kurt's not even trying to roll Dolph over onto his back to lock in the ankle lock.
Looking for the ankle lock!
If Kurt was looking for the ankle lock, he'd be trying to lock it in or readying himself to lock it in. By the time Michael Cole says that, Kurt has had the ankle lock locked in for the last near 10 seconds.
Ziggler, it is! Dolph advances!
I'm not gonna lie, I was taken aback with surprise when Dolph Ziggler actually defeated Kurt Angle. Knowing WWE and their massive erection for part-timers ruling the world, I did not think Dolph would win. So this was indeed one of the very few surprising moments of the event. Jesus, what's Drew's problem with the referee? I'd understand if he was angry at the referee because of Dolph potentially losing, but he won tonight. What's with the yelling and the pointing in anger? Calm your ass down.
The entire stadium erupted.
Actually, I didn't hear the stadium erupting with cheers at all when Kurt hit the angle slam. I heard a little bit of cheers, but not a full-on standing ovation.
No physical battle damage. Miz goes...
God damn it, by saying The Miz had no physical battle damage, Corey Graves just jinxed what would end up happening to The Miz later on in the finals. Curse you, Corey! We are showing the graphic hype for the upcoming Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman, yet that match won't be happening for another hour and a half from now. The WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe is also not scheduled to happen for another hour, so once again, why are we even bothering to show the graphics? I don't get the sense in this.
At least you keep yourself composed, not like that 12-year-old Saxton.
Corey Graves would be great at Cinema Sins 2 expansion.
I happened to order pancakes on the flight over here.
Corey just said that he is an anti-pancakes person, but then said that he ordered pancakes on the way to Saudi Arabia. I'll actually remove a sin because I think it was great for the New Day to have a magic carpet entrance here in Arabia as a reference and hype to the upcoming Aladdin movie releasing in May 2019. I'm super hyped for that movie because I fucking love Aladdin.
They're not even the tag team champions.
They don't have to be champions to put on an amazing entrance like this one. A majority of customized entrances I've seen involve those who weren't champions.
Survivor Series is presented by...
This is not even Survivor Series, asshole. You're showing the wrong advertisement, genius. Also, skip...
We're in a whole new world.
Okay, now we're going a little overboard with the Aladdin references. I'm just waiting for someone to mention someone in the bar taking the role of Jafar. Wait, did I just rhyme? Shit. Biggie and his invisible snow angels. Almost every wrestler has pyrotechnics with the exception of The Big Show, who has also been known to have pyro in his entrances. Whatever happened to that? Previously on WWE. Honestly surprised it's taken this long for me to place that sin in. Figured it was only a matter of time.
This is basically a handicap match.
Renee, shut up. This is not a handicap match at all. 3 members of the New Day, and 3 members of the Bar. That's an even playing field, no matter how big some of them are. And why the fuck am I rhyming my sins? I swear I'm not doing this on purpose.
Oh, now we're talking.
Apparently Big E swinging his hips is enough to intimidate Sheamus and cause him to retreat. Wow, I have seen it all now. Yeah, I'm scary. Look at the way I'm slapping my enormous biceps.
Not to lose those titles.
Don't jinx it, Xavier.
8-time tag team champion.
We should really rename this event the night where we recite championship accomplishments instead of calling them matches. Then again, that'd be the name of almost every pay-per-view event if that was the case.
Cesaro, very unique. It is a...
Here's a send-off for that cool athleticism by Kofi Kingston. He still impresses me from time to time. Kofi doesn't realize that he's wasting valuable time dancing with his back turned on his opponent. Also, Cesaro just watches Kofi dancing with his back turned instead of taking advantage of that opportunity. It's not like the tag team titles are on the line. That'd be ridiculous.
Famous in Cesaro.
Sorry, but Cesaro threw himself forward to the corner a little too late following Kofi's head scissors. A little earlier next time.
The most physical tag team we have ever witnessed.
And that's not the first time Michael Cole described a tag team as one of the most physical we've ever seen in the WWE. I could list off several names of tag teams that were far more physical than the Bar, no offense to them.
Beautiful classic tag teamwork.
Classic tag team work.
Cesaro and Sheamus just like to beat people up.
Grass is also green if you didn't know that obvious fact either. And guess what? That's not the first time I've said that phrase on these videos either. Try and find the video where I said that phrase before. Winner gets a free donut.
Screaming, you can't fight if you can't breathe.
The Big Show clearly said you can't dance if you can't breathe, not fight.
Listen.
We are listening! Jesus Christ! We didn't need to hear you yell at us to listen, Michael. Quit being a jackass.
It is a thing of beauty to watch.
Cesaro tries to pin Kofi, gets a near fall, and proceeds to applaud the referee's verdict instead of wondering why that wasn't a 3 count like most villains do.
Kofi's not made it to the other side of the ring in about 3 minutes.
Actually, it has only been 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm an annoying nitpicker. That's what I'm supposed to do, folks.
Imagine Big Show, that giant screaming in your face.
I could imagine it, but the reality is that the Big Show wasn't really screaming in Kofi's face. He was calmly telling him to give up, not yelling at him to give up.
The Crown Jewel is sold out.
This is sadly the only time where that statement is accurate, considering Crown Jewel tickets were sold out within 3 hours of going on sale. All the other times are sadly exaggerated.
Here's Sheamus.
I'm removing another sin because that right there was a great example of attacking the opponent watching you on the apron. Sheamus looked like he was going to go after Kofi, only to knock Big E off the ring apron, instead of looking and heading directly to Big E's location.
Kofi is done!
That was impressive double team into the jackhammer by the Bar. There's another sin removed in this already loaded counter. Although I sin Michael Cole for immediately losing faith in Kofi Kingston. Never lose faith, dude.
Looking to retain the tag team gold and a kick at it.
The referee was counting faster than he normally would, and yet the Big Show complains about that being a very slow count. Haha, Cesaro's voice cracked.
Might be wise.
Peck slapping in an awkward attempt to look intimidating.
Big E thinks he's back in Florida already.
Why Florida of all places? Why not Virginia, or California, or New York? Whatever, I don't really care.
Finding a bit of a distraction tag.
Kofi did not tag Big E. He clearly tagged Sheamus, who's not even his partner in this match. How is this tag legal?
Big Show with a right hand!
Even though I do not condone the outside interference, I am amazed that Big E took a knockout punch from the Big Show and is still moving around, albeit dazed. Goes to show that Big E can take a lot of damage, which makes me want to see him in a singles career more.
Hey Renee, you got a blender you can loan Big E for his pancakes?
Fuck you.